Tom here from Throwing Wrenches Garage. I'm solo today. I've had Declan used up for the last couple of days while we went to the New England 900. So we've got a little bit of time today to be able to work on this thing, but Declan had other plans that he already had made, so he's off doing those. So this is going to be a little bit of a solo trip today, but we'll talk about the goals here today as I take you on a little walk around of the car and let you know what we've been up to lately. So here she sits in pretty good condition. We've been pretty happy with what has happened to the car and where we've taken it so far. We've got a ton of comments from you guys talking about all sorts of things, from the validity or safety of these seat belts now that they've been sun faded, to the fact that this car is technically an IROC Z, not an IROC Z28. All true. Learning lots of stuff from you guys, so thank you. Keep those comments coming, but also wanted to just set a few things aside for everybody. So first things first, we're keeping the car as original as we can. I know there were a lot of people concerned in the comments about don't blow this thing up, don't make it crazy. Don't worry, we're not. The intention is to try to keep it as close to stock as we possibly can, and we're doing all of this on a budget and over a time frame, so that's going to kind of force us to do that. Where we're sitting right at the moment now is the car is up on jack stands on the front. We have changed the oil in it. We have heard this thing run. We heard it run when we picked it up, and we did see glitter in the oil. I know a lot of commenters came back and said, it doesn't look like that glittery to me. And it really wasn't ridiculously glittery. It wasn't really over the top, but there was definitely enough glitter in that pan that I am concerned. And there's definitely parts wearing in there. So, but we don't know really how bad it is. I haven't heard the thing get a chance to run or get warmed up because it's missing a big section of the Y-pipe, the pipe that goes from the manifolds to the catalytic converter. Previous owner, 2 previous owners ago, I guess technically, had cut that section of pipe out to replace the starter. So, I mean, I guess it worked for him. He knew plenty of people in his family who were welders, so I'm sure he thought he was just going to zap that thing back in place. I am looking to try to see if I can get that thing back in there. If for no other reason, just to not tick off all my neighbors. It's real loud when you've got that thing running with basically open pipes. So I'm going to try to get under there and see if I can remove that Y-pipe with lots of impact wrench power. And if I can't, then I'll probably just try to weld that back into place myself where it is. It'll still have all kinds of leaks because I won't be able to get to the whole circumference of the pipe. But the goal, get this thing running, hopefully today. If not today, then tomorrow night or the night after. So that we can let it warm up and hear if it's actually getting better, if just more oil pressure and oil circulation actually helps that thing out. And B, even if that's not the case, I would like to at least rip it around the driveway here and go through the gears on the automatic transmission just to make sure that's working. Because I'm not 100% sure it is. I haven't moved it with the transmission, not under its own power. I want to know that, because if we have to pull this motor, I would like to know if we need to pull the transmission at the same time or if we think it's safe enough that we can just leave it alone. I'm hoping it's the latter, but we'll see. And we'll give that a run and try it out, see how it works. Okay, so all of that said, that's enough yapping from me in the very beginning of this video. I know it's a lot. We're going to start to get to work on this. I'll set up some cameras and we'll get underneath this thing and see if I can't possibly, maybe, remove that Y-pipe with an impact wrench and some rust blaster. And if I don't have any success in doing that, I'll just see if I can zap the thing in place where it stands. Well, hopefully you guys can see this. It's terribly uncomfortable for me, but I'll try to point it out. Here's the flange. These are the bolts that we're going after. One here, one on the other side of that pipe. That's what I need to get in there and take off. And I need to do that because of that. There should be a pipe in the middle there. In fact, let's put that light down. I can show you there should be a pipe there. If I get it the right way. Yeah, there we go. So that should be in there like that. I can technically weld that in place. I'd rather not if I can avoid it, because if I can pull this thing out of here, then that's going to make it just a little bit easier to weld all the way around that pipe, because I can do it on the bench instead. But I am prepared to maybe have to do it here. I'm just not that good a welder, so welding in a weird spot is not going to make it any easier. All right. So let's get at this. All right, take two with the right extension. Let's see if we can get something going here. All right, kids. Well, I can get you in here and see. That ain't working. All right, I kind of suspected this would be the case, and this is one of those deals where I can kind of double down here and not take no for an answer, and then waste like an hour and a half trying to get this thing off. Or I can just zip this thing in, and you can see one of these pipes is already, I mean, that is booger welded. I'm pretty sure I'm going to do a better job than that. But we'll take a stab at just kind of welding this thing in place as best we can, and then we'll go from there. Well, this is like the definition of not proud. And also don't care. So stuck underneath this car and crouching and crawling around, and seemed like every kind of position I tried to get my head into, my helmet was coming off. Don't care. This is close enough. It's going to come off eventually anyway. This is not a long-term fix. This is just to try to manage the noise today. So you can save your welding critique for me for later, because yeah, this is awful, admittedly. So one of the things that I had forgotten about until last week, when we went to go start the car when my brother-in-law was over, so to show it off and it wouldn't start, I had forgotten that the battery terminals on this thing are actually worn. They're pretty rusted out. Let's see if we can zoom in there, see if it'll pick it up. Yeah. So they're pretty well rusted out, pretty well shot. But additionally, the positive one was actually stripped, so I couldn't even get it tight if I wanted to. So we did order a couple of these, got them from Classic Industries, which is turning out to be one of my go-to parts places for sort of reliable parts for this car. And so now we're going to install them. I did one on the negative cable just to sort of cheat, and now we'll do one on the positive cable, and I'll show you how I figured out these things go in. Alright, so there we go. You can see that that guy is retained by that little rubber sheathing here. So what we're going to do is we're going to pry the edge of that rubber sheathing up with a screwdriver, and then we're going to go to work on it. Alright, here we go. I think that's better. Okay, so obviously everything's disconnected. We're going to take the screwdriver here and just pry this out. Trying not to stab ourselves in the hand, because I need those. And there we go, and you can see how stripped out this thing was. So the problem was it would feel like it was threading in. Let's see it there, yeah. It would feel like it was threading in, and then all of a sudden, you know, just breaks loose. So we'll get rid of that guy right in the trash. So I'm gonna take the minute here to clean this out, because it's pretty cruddy on the inside. This is where that terminal will make contact. Nice and clean. On that side, it's actually really clean. I think I cleaned that before. All right. And now we just sort of invert the process. There we go. It's in. All right. Now let's get a wrench on. There we go. Nice and tight. That went in beautiful. See if we can do the same here. All right, battery's in place. It's good to go.
It's actually doable.
Yeah, it's not awful in there. All right, so Declan's about to go in and give her a start. No pumping the gas, remember, because this is fuel injected. Are you turning it over? Did that just shut off on its own? Oh, why did you shut it off?
I don't know, you're making a face.
Just start it up again, then you can come out here so you can hear me.
Or it's making a weird noise.
Yeah.
Sounds like it's gonna like...
It might, you know what? Hold on. We might need gas. All right, let's give her another try. Now just leave it. Loose.
Oh. Well, the backup lights work.
What?
Backup lights work.
That's good. Jesus. Yep, running terrible.
No, more.
Oh yeah, did you blow out lots of chunks? Oh yeah, we blew out dead stuff. That's an animal. Check it out. Zoom in. Nasty. I mean, he's been dead a long time. We didn't kill him. But that's a dead critter. Well, so it's too early for me to... I mean, I think we're going to have to pull it. So, based on that noise, I don't know how well it's going to show up on the audio. We might have to play with it a little bit on the video when we edit it. But based on the audio... Oh, sorry. What I was hearing in that engine, I was hearing a couple of things. I was hearing two things. I was hearing an exhaust leak, which also kind of sounds like a tick. But I knew about that because that's from where I welded the Y-pipe in, and it's not. I didn't spend a lot of time on it. But then I was also hearing, it sounds, the best way I can describe it is it's like a rattle. It's a knock. So that's what you really heard pronounced when I revved the engine. That sort of like rattling sound. It's basically
Stuff bouncing around.
That's probably either connecting rods or journals loose, so the crankshaft is rattling around, or the rods are rattling around on the crankshaft. Whichever thing it is, or if it's all of them, it's not good. So I think what we're going to have to do is for sure yank the engine. So that's probably the next big thing that we have to plan for with this thing from an operational standpoint. And in the meantime, whatever time we can't spend getting ready to pull the engine, then we can probably spend sanding body panels if we want. So, which is another fun job. So, all right, let me flip this around on us. All right, so kind of disappointing news. Not entirely unexpected though.
Yeah.
You're gonna get to pull an engine.
We don't even know how to.
Are you kind of excited about that though?
Kind of. I mean, it's more reassuring knowing that something is wrong and it's not like, oh, that sounds bad, but it's probably good.
Yeah, no, stuff sounding bad, it's probably bad. So yeah, we don't have a lot of experience. I don't have any experience pulling an engine, just experience watching people pull engines. So I know about it at a high level, but got lots of, I guess, YouTube videos to watch. And we'll probably enlist a couple of friends to come over and help us out with that too. The good news is we do have an engine stand and an engine hoist, both of which I just happened to have recently got at like an auction for short money. So we have what we need to be able to pull it, and that'll be the next story. So stay tuned for that. This is sort of just a little bit of a downer of an episode because it doesn't. Oh, actually, there is one positive thing to pull out of this. The transmission works. So I managed to get this thing to pull out of here and drive, and then back up, and then go into park and neutral. So we know the gears work, so there's not too much worry, at least, about the transmission. I mean, that doesn't mean the transmission's perfect, but it means it's functioning right now. So we may find at a later date that it's not, that it still needs to be rebuilt, but we don't have to urgently go after it now because it'll move with that current transmission in there. So I guess that's good news. We'll take that as a plus. Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. All right, I'm happy with that. All right, so until next time, guys. And next time we may be working on the Chevelle instead of the Camaro. So at least when we do stuff to the Chevelle, we can take it out and drive it afterwards.
Yeah.
So there's always that. And then there's ice cream usually involved in that. So, all right, guys. Thanks for watching as always. Like and subscribe, please. And have a great day.